So, why does Israel not employ Palestinians to defend Israeli citizens and Israel in exchange for allowing Palestinians to live on land? As far as I've seen, people in Gaza, they are by their soul tied to the ground, to the soil. They will remain there for as long as they're breathing. They feel ethically, morally correct in so many ways. They do care for hostage that they have from Israel. They take care of them. There's no denial of that. It's just a fact. And this is an asset for Israel, to be honest. To have a big, numerous population that could protect and defend Israel in future and whatever is to come. Palestinians have been in Palestine for a very long time, and Israel, they have built what they have built. And I think at this point, these two groups of people, they interact very much with each other, even if they are kind of in some kind of conflict against. But it's that one of the parties, Israel, have the most resources at hand to kind of oppress Palestinians, the other group. And because of this kind of inequality, I think Israelis should make use of this situation in such way that they should employ and make a deal with Palestinians to have Palestinians defend Israelis and Israel against anything. And in exchange for that defense deal, Palestinians should have some right to live on the soil, such as in Gaza, such as in the West Bank, to have them to live there, but without being targeted by Israeli soldiers, because Palestinians could defend Israel. Their heart is connected to the land. That all they want is just to be on the land. They want to live there. They want to live right. They are not interested in drugs and stuff like this. They just want to, have their families there. They want to work. They want to educate themselves. They want to care for the soil. They want to make sure that everything is good there. And I think for Israelis who have to put a lot of time in the military at a young age in life, they could kind of take that obligation and tell Palestinians, do this for us. You Palestinians, we want you as defense for Israel. And in return, we will have you live somewhere here. And you can call it whatever. Call it Palestine. Live your life there. You will not be maybe so much in Israeli society, because I know Israelis, they do not want to have much interference, whether from anybody outside. But I think there is no way that Palestinians will go anywhere. Their soul, their heart, their blood, everything will stay until they die. And because of this, there is no point in killing more people. That is absolutely unethical. That is just like, it's like a loss to do that as well. Because you have these people, incredible people, who actually are willing to sacrifice themselves for the soil. They are willing to do anything, and even to protect Israelis even if they are starving, even if there is bomb falling on them, even if they are freezing, even if they, really are suffering, they still will protect Israelis, such as they did with the hostages that they had. They've really proven that they are willing to defend Israelis. And I think the deal here is for Israel, who is in a position, they have a lot of guns, they have a lot of bombs from the US and stuff. They must somewhere understand that life has a value. And because they have this group of people living nearby to them, and the only way to get rid of that population is killing. And killing is not going to solve this problem, because killing does not add up to ethically, results. So why not have Palestinians defend Israel? And in return for defending Israel, let them live on the soil. Let them have their own way of life and do as they do. Because Palestinians, they have their morals, they have their ethics. For example, in other places, in many societies nowadays, most people are, you will not find one ethically correct person at all. For example, in Sweden, you have a lot of gang criminals, you have a lot of different kind of ethics in society. But Palestinians, as a group, they have similar ethics to each other, and they are very much caring for human life. They caring, they are loyal, they have kind of ideas, they don't do drugs, and they are very morally correct in how they're living. And I think such people are perfect soldiers. They are perfect soldiers. They can work in defense for Israel, and Israel people would not even need to do all that military stuff. I don't know how many Israelis really feel like that their destiny is to do all this military service for their country. I understand it's important for them, but if you can allocate that to somebody else that is willing to do it and is loyal to you, then why not do that? And in return, allow Palestinians to live there on the soil. Because they do it quite well, They do it quite well to live on the soil. As long as they get to live there, you know where they are. Like, there's a lot of surveillance of Palestinians that Israel is doing. So, I definitely think it's not a clash. It's more like some form of coexistence that kind of is maybe mixed in with a lot of violence. But I think that Israel at this point should make use of this other group of people in such a way that they will make use of Palestinians for their own defense needs. Because there's a lot of things that can come in the future that Israel is going to need a lot of soldiers for. And where are they going to find them? Like, do they want to sacrifice all Jewish people for defense purpose? I don't think so. I think a lot of Jewish people, they want to educate themselves, they want to build their businesses, they want to build something in society and so forth, and instead employ Palestinians at a young age into army to defend Israel, but in return allow Palestinians to live on piece of land. And I think that could be a deal, because I know there's no way that Israel is going to allow just peace to start, And I think because of that, because of the defense needs that Israel have, they should take their defense needs and make use of Palestinians to kind of solve their own defense needs. And I haven't seen this. I mean, it's probably not a perfect theory. And I haven't seen anybody say this, because mostly whenever I hear anybody talk about this, they say that there needs to be two different states, or there needs to be something. But I don't think it's about whether or not there is a state for both parties. I think like this, at this point, to start somewhere, it's about solving the defense issue that foremost Israel have. And to solve it, I think they need to look at what is the situation. They need to employ Palestinians into their own defense. Like, if Palestinians have been the enemy, or like been the target for 75 years old, 75 years or however long it is, I mean, why not just have Palestinians defend Israel instead of putting down all resources on targeting Palestinians? Because Palestinians' kind of mission is just to live there and breathe. They just want to breathe air and live and have a full-fledged life. And I think that is not really a threat to Israel in any way. I think Palestinians, they building their own kind of society, own social structures, but in return for doing that, they could provide defense for Israel, to also protect Israel from any kind of other thing that could happen. And by doing that, they are not in a clash. They are kind of working together on building defense. I don't know why they are not doing that, but I think that that's what they should be doing, because it's not about just having a state. Like, the biggest issue here is honestly the fact that they talk about there is some defense threats, but at the end of the day, those who are resistant, those who are strong, those who are willing to sacrifice themselves for just living there, those are perfect soldiers, and you should employ them and make use of them for being there. I think, for example, other countries in the world, such as any country, have big problem finding people who are willing to defend their country or to like actually even have the strength to do it. And I think Palestinians and generations of Palestinians are definitely qualified to defend Israel against other things, and they should make use of that, actually. And I think Palestinians would be willing to defend Israel if they, in return for doing that, get piece of land to live on. Obviously, they may want to call it their state. That's understandable. And maybe it's possible to have Palestinian state, as it have been in the past, But in return, if Israel ever would agree on it, they could actually make Palestinians agree to defend Israel for generations to come. And if Palestinians are not willing to do that, then there is going to be a continue of defense problems that Israel is going to face, because every year Israel needs to employ soldiers to defend themselves against Palestinians, and I feel like Palestinians are not the threat here. Palestinians' only mission is to live on the land, so make use of that kind of equation. Just turn the numbers in different order. Palestinians live on the land, in exchange they will defend Israel. It's just turn the equation around, and I think that would work. But I know people are gonna say, no, that's not the solution. Well, you can have 75 more years of endless defense problems, and I think people will be where they are, and I think it's an excellent opportunity to actually make use of these people and have them in defense, purpose, to defend Israel. And in exchange, let them live on land. Let them live on land and have their own society and do as they please there. And they will still be loyal to Israel. I think they have built a very strong connection to Israel, and they have built a strong connection to Israelis. And as far as if you ever speak with one Jewish or one Palestinian, they will always say that they wish for peace and end to all this drama in between them. And I think only when there will be a day when there come like external problem, then they might come together. But I think that at this point, just value Palestinians as, people who are perfect soldiers to defend Israel, and in exchange live on land. Like somebody have to live on that land either way, And if you have perfect soldiers who lives on that piece of land, you're gonna be safe wherever you live. And I think that's a good deal.